Mauro Betti from Rome. I'd like to ask our doctors here, with your permission, President, something about bandaging. We supervisors face several problems with boxing commissions. Somebody allows the hard tape to be put on the skin first. Some different commissions do not. Would you please clarify once forever if there is any conflict medically about putting the hard tape first on the skin and then the gauze and then that? Because we have problems. Because as far as I understand, the WBC is not against that. But I'd like you, please, to clarify this to all of us. Thank you.
If I may add to what Mauro says, bandaging is a major situation, it's a major topic. The reason for boxers to use gloves is to protect their hands. When they started using gloves was to protect their hands, not to protect the opponent. And eventually the safety feature is the protection of the hands, the hand wrapping, and then the glove. We just had a great news from William Budo, which Ontario Commission? Ontario Boxing Commission only allowed one tape, only one roll of gauze per hand. They would not allow a weigh-in a day before. So they have changed with the work of our member. If you go to Las Vegas, if you go to California, if you go to New York, they have different allowances of material or conditions. But one that we see everywhere in the world, for some reason, someone said it's not permitted to put tape and then gauze. What is there any medical position from your committee?
No. No, there are a number of, as they say, wives' tales, and certain trainers have their own particular way in which they want to do it. The most important thing is that there is one there watching the taping done. We know that the issues in the past that people have put plaster pairs in the wrappings and that, so watching it. And whether you use one roll or two rolls or where you put your tape doesn't make a significant difference, but it varies by commission, as you mentioned, Mr. President.
Dr. Wallace, what we've heard, out supervising fights and talking to trainers, and I'm sure that these are not documented cases, that if you put a base of tape and the gauze on top, it could cause skin tears when the movement of the glove and the impact. I've never seen it, but they claim that it does. And the other thing that they talk about is that it hardens the base of the hand, and it gives the boxer an unfair advantage. Again, I don't know if any of this is documented, but those are the reasons that I've heard for that.
And those have been going on for a number of years. We haven't been able to prove it, of course, but many of the commissions, again, have an agreement between the boxers prior to the fight, and we don't have any objections as such.
Dr. Wallace.
Sir.
Yeah. I saw once a fighter that put the tape directly on the skin, his hand, and he broke several bones. And then to take away this tape was quite difficult. It hurt him very much. That may be one of the reasons not to allow to put tape directly on the skin.
Well, understood, but that's a choice we'll allow the boxers to have.
Yes, please.
Thank you, President. This is a recurring problem about hand wrapping. Davide Bianchi from Switzerland, medical committee also. and I did many hand wraps all over the world in many commissions. I totally against putting tape directly on the skin. I totally agree with Peter because layering can make the hand wrap much stronger and much harder. This is like a building theory, you see. So if you have a normal rules, it's better to be safer for everyone. And then if you have some fractures, some wounds, it's very complicated to treat with some glue and some patch. So no medical reason, of course, but by a technical point of view, I am not favorable of doing this.
Thank you. I think this deserves a committee of experts. Not medical experts, because it's clear there's no medical justification of why yes or why not. But trainers, hand wrappers. Vic Cotman, I think he's coming soon. He has been here in the convention. He's an expert on cuts and on hand wrapping. So we will do a nice program also with WBC University on the proper procedures, and I would like to do a follow research on during the year to have a final position on with regards to the taping. So, here's one who can give us a very good testimonial. Please, a big round of applause to Michael Moore.
Thank you. You guys are talking about the hands, and I was a puncher. Emmanuel Stewart would put tape on my hands, and the metacarpals here that are floating in the hand, so to keep them all together, like this. But as the tape was here, the gauze would go on it. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it that way, just to protect the hands. If me being a puncher, and as it's coming in, it didn't hurt my hands at all. It's just a wear and tear.
What I have heard is if you don't put the tape, then you have the gauze and it's loose. So it's much more risk to have an injury when the gauze is loose because it has nothing to hold on. So I think your testimonial is very important. We are going to add boxers to the committee and understand the pros and the cons and try to get to a final procedure.
See, the tape will go on the hand, but the gauze will go over it to keep it compact, to keep it everything in there. I think.
It is easy, no stacking. So you just put tape and then the gauze and then the tape on the to finalize, but you cannot go tape, gauze, tape, gauze, tape, gauze. That would be stacking, and that is prohibited. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, champ. For those who don't know him, he's a one of the most important cutman and corner assistant. Do you have a position regarding tape, gauze, or gauze directly?
Personally, I believe if you can put the tape under the gauze, it helps to protect the carpals and keep them together. Primarily when you see a fighter whose knuckles are broken, that was a cut man's mistake because he put a huge pad and the fighter could not squeeze his hand shut in the glove. If you see the carpal broken, it means that the carpal was not supported correctly. If the wrist gets broken, it means when he was wrapped, he was not supported well in the wrist. If the thumb is broken, it means he was not wrapped correctly. When he punched, the thumb came backwards. There's certain gloves that tend to that kind of injury, there's particular gloves. But I believe that stacking is better than just gauze and tape. That means tape, gauze, tape. I believe that is in the best interest of the fighter to keep his hand together.
Were you here? Were you listening to Michael Moore?
No, sir, I was not. No.
Just exactly what he said.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous. So I think it's very solid. I would like to invite you to be part of the committee for during the year to meet and get a final position on what should be the taping protocol to introduce it worldwide.
Anything that I could add to make the fighter's safety, I'm 100%.
Thank you, Vic.
as a boxer and as a doctor, the best way to wrap the hand is to have the right technique. Nothing can be better than that. And the most important thing in the boxing technique when you have a punch to prevent injuries is squeeze your fist. The problem is that the heart of the boxers often stronger than the fist. That's the problem. But everything else in the hands of these incredible people like Vic, I'm sure it will be great. So thank you so much for being such a good protector of the boxers' health. Thank you.
Also on the committee, I think it would be important, especially after the long studies that we did with regards to gloves themselves, to have some of the glove manufacturers participate in such.